I don't think I've talked about this Jato in a while. It's the same one that I have in another video, but I just love this thing. The Jato was one of two RC Nitros that got me into hobby grade RC. I saw it in an ad for an ad in the Motor Trend magazine when I was about 10 years old. When the Jato first came out, it was in an ad along with this Revo 2.5 right here. And I was mind blown. Little 10-year-old me was like, they can't make an RC car go 55 miles an hour, but lo and behold, they do. And they, it blew my mind, to be honest with you. So I'm happy to have this. This started as one of those 2.5s. I've got the original red body over here. I've got several sets of the original wheels. I'm actually not seeing them right now. They're around here somewhere. The ones that look kind of like that. But today, oh, there they are. There's a stack of them right there. Today, I've got it set up like the OG 3.3 with the Anaconda tires. And the reason for that is I recently put a 3.3 engine in it that I rebuilt from two kind of destroyed 3.3s. I was able to salvage one working engine. So we're going to run that thing in just a minute. I've got it shifting really nicely. It's getting hard to control it so fast, which is really rewarding when you rebuilt an engine. That was my first time doing that. We got the old T-Max. This is a 2.5R motor in it, and it's got lots of nice upgrades. The RPM stuff, I'm pretty sure I've shown you all this before. It's got a aluminum rear diff housing, aftermarket chassis, RPM everywhere. It's just a great rig. Got this for $100 a while back. One of my 2.5 Revos here had the engine stolen out of it. That's actually one of the two engines that I rebuilt into the 3.3 that's in my Jato now. So I need to get a new 3.3 or a OS 21 or something for that. And then I've got my prized stack of 2.5 Revo bodies back there that are highly sought after. And then my Nitro Rustler, I think I showed you all that not too long ago. The Savage 25, which I hardly ever drive because it's just too pretty to get dirty. You'll notice the Nitro Stampede is missing. I actually sold that on eBay. I didn't have time to fight with it. I looked at the exhaust setup and it looked complicated, and I was like, I don't have time for this. So I sold it on eBay. My other 3.3 Revo is looking real good. I got some Savage tires on it. Real nice body I painted. Yeah, just really digging on this. This one got a new 3.3 in it not too long ago with a pull start, and it's a absolute beast. This thing is so much fun. I'm about to get this thing out after I run the Jato for a few more days. Shout out to my buddy David. I think he's from Massachusetts. Dave got me this. We traded for some stuff. Among other things, I got a Jato body unpainted, and I gave it this red and white scheme. That's going to be sort of an off-road bastion body. So look for that in the next couple of weeks, hopefully. But let's go rip some Jato. All right, y'all, this is a cold start. This thing usually starts up pretty good, but I often preheat it. I've got some issues with the receiver pack. Sometimes it doesn't turn on. I think it's a switch issue. There we go, we're good now. All right, let's get her primed and get her started. Here we go. The only weak point with the Jato that I can find is the brakes, which you could argue is a pretty big deal. But, you know, it's good to be able to stop. And even with the brake mod, woo, it spins out. Even with the brake mod, she just don't stop. She don't know how to stop. And that's all right, I guess, but you just got to be smart. Especially when you're going 60, 65 miles an hour, it can be a big deal. Woo! Especially if you run into a car. I don't know if y'all caught that. A little bit of a close call there. It's kind of funny. All right, we're good. That driver was paying attention, and so was I. It's always nice when both people are paying attention and you can avoid a wreck. She spins. She doesn't wheelie, but she spins. I can't get enough traction to really get a wheelie. But she is fun to go crazy with. I did order a RPM bumper because I broke a part recently on the front end of it. And it could have possibly been prevented by a aftermarket wider bumper. And I actually checked eBay and I only found one. So I was like, I better get this now while I can. I've never had a Nitro that will spin the tires that crazy. She's just an absolute monster, dude. And again, this engine was rebuilt from 2 old 3.3s. So for me to get this kind of performance out of something I built, my first time rebuilding a Nitro engine, there is nothing like it, man. The feeling you get, the reward, getting to see that thing fly down the road like that and hear it purr, smell that exhaust. That is the beauty of Nitro that a brushless can never replicate. And it's not for everybody. You can see I tore this tire out. I gotta re-glue that tire, no big deal. But I like a brushless. I got a few. Actually, I just have one right now to my 8 or 9 Nitros. But yeah, say what you will about Nitro. It may be a pain to some people, but it is absolutely worth it to get a rig that runs like this, that you can bash around or fly down the road. I just can't say enough good about this car. Alright, so what we're going to do, see, we still have a good amount of fuel left, so rather than pinch the fuel line, I'm actually going to let it run out of fuel. So I'm going to go get my fuel bottle and suck a lot of that fuel out so I don't waste it, and then just let the engine die. That's the best way to keep a Nitro engine in good condition, is to always get all the fuel out of it when you're done. So we're going to go do that now. So the best way I found to check your low speed needle, which is kind of like similar to your idle, it's different but similar, is to pinch your fuel line and count how many seconds it takes for the engine to die. So we're going to do that. 1, 2, 3. That's about dead on perfect. About 2 to 3 seconds. 3 is a little bit richer, which is a little safer. So now I'm going to restart it. And I'm gonna pull out most of this fuel so we don't waste a bunch of fuel. Now we're just going to let her idle for another 1 to 2 minutes, and then we'll put her away for the day. There she goes. Spin it a little more, get any leftover fuel out. Seems pretty good. Cut her off. cut your receiver off first, then your transmitter, and then while the engine's still hot, bonus points, if you grab that flywheel and put it on bottom dead center. You can tell that happens when the flywheel is loose and easy to manipulate. That's just easier on the components, on the piston and sleeve, and your engine will last a lot longer and be easier to start next time if you do that. Good stuff. Also, just make sure you clean your air filter every so often. Traxxas says after about an hour of use. Actually, there it is. Clean air filter after each hour runtime. Some people do it even more often than that. Mine just depends on driving conditions. If I'm driving on the road, I'll wait the full hour. But if I am way out in the dirt or something, getting it real nasty, I'll change it out after every session, basically. And this is something that may be obvious to a lot of y'all, but if you're new to the hobby or new to Nitro, or if you're just younger getting into this, like I got into this when I was really young, something obvious that never occurred to me until just a few years ago was like, you know, you could always just carry multiple air filters, and then if you're wanting to do a long bash session for a couple of hours out somewhere way out in the sticks or in the dirt, but you don't want to have to quit after an hour, just bring multiple air filters. It's like, it's such a no-brainer, duh, and they're cheap. But at any rate, thanks for tuning in, y'all. Hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Go burn some Nitro. Take care.